I am sure you know the saying, your network is your net worth. I personally believe that. Over the years, ever since I started doing online stuff, I am always in one community or another. And over the years, that helped me in many ways, including having more knowledge in the industry that I am currently in. And of course, it helped me also in finding a client as a virtual assistant. And that is why in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the best ways that I believe can help you increase your network, therefore increase your net worth as a virtual assistant. And the first thing is, oops, my humidifier stopped working. Give me a minute. It looks like I'm going to have to fix this later. Okay, let's get back to the networking strategies. The very first thing is treat your LinkedIn profile like your online store, as if you are selling something. Well, you are selling something. And you can treat your LinkedIn profile like your shop by doing some of the obvious things and some of the things that are not very obvious. And the first thing is make sure your LinkedIn profile look professional at one glance. First impression matters everywhere, including online. So you need to make sure when people visit your LinkedIn profile, they have a good first impression of you. And just how can you do this? There is a problem with appearing professional, because if you are a beginner, you don't know what you don't know. You might look at your LinkedIn profile and think it looks great, even if it didn't look that good. And what you need to do is first find people who you admire. As a virtual assistant, who are some of the virtual assistants that you personally admire? Someone who is actively doing the work. Well, I am still doing the work, but you can't take inspiration from my profile probably, because I'm not using my profile to find a client. So try to find someone who is actively doing virtual assistant, who is a professional and successful virtual assistant, and take a look at their profile. How do they write their about information? How do they create their graphics, their banner? I think banner is what it is called. How do they create their banner? How does it look? And especially when it comes to graphic, try to compare some of the professional ones with the one you have. And in order to get a feedback, just take the graphic you have, go to Facebook, join some Facebook groups that graphic designers hang out, search on Facebook for graphic design Facebook groups and post the graphic that you created and ask for feedback. If you are a beginner, your graphic might not look good, but you might think it looks good. And if you can do that, you post your graphic in a group that professional graphic designers hang out. You can easily get some feedback on what you can do to improve your graphic and how you can make it more professional. This will help you overcome this hurdle, because graphic is really great. It plays a big role. It catches attention. So if you have a professional graphic on your LinkedIn profile, it is going to help you give that first good impression when someone visits your profile. I am not like an expert in LinkedIn, because honestly, few years ago, I don't even like LinkedIn. I don't even use it. I barely use it few years ago. But just about few months ago, even less than a year, is when I started using LinkedIn. And when I started using LinkedIn, I understand how important it is, especially for virtual assistants. So look at other professional virtual assistants that have LinkedIn profiles and take inspiration from their profiles, and make sure you set your profile professionally so that at first look, you don't look like an amateur. You look like a professional virtual assistant. The next thing you need to do is attract the right people to your profile. Having a good profile is not enough if nobody is taking a look at your profile. If you want to connect with the right people, you need to start posting content that is important and personal to you. When I say post content, it's easy now with ChatGPT. Anyone will just go to ChatGPT, write a prompt and get a post and just publish it. And because of that, content has become a lot less valuable. If you want your content to stand out, you need to speak from your own personal experience and from your own personal interest. If you take a look at all my posts recently and LinkedIn anywhere else, I really never use ChatGPT or any AI tool to write content. And because of that, if I write a blog post, it's probably not going to rank in Google, but when someone finds it, they are going to enjoy reading it. And that is what you want. If you want to connect with people, you don't want to use ChatGPT to get text and just post. You need to write something personal, something that is either from your previous experience or something that you have an interest in. Anyone use AI? I use AI. So, and the way I use AI is if I write content, I just take it, go to ChatGPT and ask for its opinion on how to make it better. And I get some ideas and maybe add something. If there is too much fluff, I just fix it. If I need to add some call to actions, I just go ahead and do that. So this is something you can do also. Don't just get content from ChatGPT and post. Nobody wants to read that kind of post anymore. So if you start posting content that will attract the right type of people, when someone read your content and it is clearly from your own personal experience or from your own personal interest, they are going to be interested in you. As opposed to if you use ChatGPT to write the content, maybe it's some tips, general tips or general hacks or general information. They are just going to read. Maybe even if they finish reading, they are just going to scroll away. So if you are not posting, start posting, but start posting from your heart. And the next thing you need to do is obviously engage and connect with other people. If you are on LinkedIn, it's easy. You just spend some time on LinkedIn, find the right type of people that you want to connect with. You don't have to only connect with potential employees. You can connect with potential employees and people who are in the same position as you are. People who are struggling virtual assistant trying to succeed, and people who are virtual assistant and they succeeded as a virtual assistant, and people who are potential employees. Building your connection doesn't mean just finding people who are going to hire you. Building your connection means being connected and being known in the industry. And eventually you are going to be known in the industry if you are doing the right things. But if you are only trying to connect with potential employees, then it is going to be not fun at all, really. But if you are connecting with people who are in the same position as you are, it's easy to gain some insight. It's easy to gain some ideas on what other people are doing, what is working for other people who are in the same position as you are. So try to connect with other people by engaging with relevant content and connecting with the right type of people. And the next thing that you can do is join niche specific groups. There are, I don't know how many number of groups are in Facebook, but there are countless of Facebook groups on almost every single niche. So if you are a virtual assistant, you are probably offering services like data entry, calendar management. So think of all the services you are offering or you are trying to start offering and find groups that are specific to that single service or single skill or single task and join this kind of specific groups. By joining this kind of specific groups, it will be easier for you to learn some knowledge, to gain some knowledge about what is going on in that specific industry. If maybe you are doing data entry, you need to join groups that are Excel groups, maybe people who are interested in learning about Microsoft Excel. And if you join that, obviously you are going to learn a lot. And people are going to be sharing their experiences and their challenges. And if you are truly learning, someone will post a challenge or a question that you know something about. No matter how little you know, if you are learning continuously, you know more than someone. So people are going to post and you are going to gain value, and eventually you are also going to provide value. What you need to keep in mind is if you are interested in growing your network, be willing to give more than you take. Be willing to always provide help. In those kind of groups, I see all the time. When someone make a post that looks like a potential client, people will respond, but with a call to action. And that is not really the way to connect with people. The way to connect with people is just appear helpful. When someone asks a question, don't give them half the answer and say, okay, let's DM and let's talk about it, or email me, or I provide this kind of service, or I can do it for you. When someone asks a question, just be helpful. And if you are helpful enough, people are just going to like you. And if they like you, they are going to want to connect with you. And that is the best way for you to increase and really build up your network and your net worth. And the next advice I have for you is focus on few instead of everything. There are so many online communities. So if you try to go everywhere, you really cannot sustain being everywhere. You will overwhelm yourself. So LinkedIn is very important for virtual assistant. So I think you need to be on LinkedIn. Facebook is important because Facebook has groups. Many places have groups, but especially if you are in Nigeria, Facebook groups are more common. So being on Facebook groups is also very important. And the rest is going to depend on the type of services you are going to start offering. You can find a more niche specific groups in other places. But even if you stick to Facebook groups and LinkedIn, it will be enough for you to build up your network. The idea is if you are not doing much, start doing something little by little, and eventually you can increase the platforms you have your presence on, and eventually you can increase how you reach out and how you try to build your network. But when you are just getting started, just try to pick few and focus on them. Okay, this next one is important but not required, and that is join paid communities. Paid communities are often more valuable than free communities. I have been in many paid communities, and I have been also in many free communities. But paid communities are generally more valuable because there isn't, obviously there isn't going to be a lot of spam if it is a paid community. And people who are in paid community, they are serious. It's not people who are just testing things out and just not willing to do the hard things. If someone paid and be in a community, they are more likely to connect, they are more likely to engage, they are more likely to provide help, and they are more likely to ask for help. So if you can afford to be in a paid community, that is going to be helpful for you. I have been in one community, Startup Society by Jillian Farkins, and I joined the community totally with no intention of finding a client, but I ended up finding a client in the community. And what happened was I shared a link when I finished building my website. A few years ago, I add a link and asked for feedback. And few people check my website and provide their feedback. And among them, someone said, "Your website looks very good. Where did you get your website?" I said, "I built it myself." And they asked me if I can build a website for them. I said I can, and they paid me, and I ended up building their website for them. I also ended up finding one virtual assistant client on Facebook in the Virtual Sabi Facebook group by Ivy Ashley. I ended up making a post about a win I had a few years ago, and someone in the group turns out to have an agency, a virtual assistant agency, and they check my profile and they sent me a message and they asked me if I can build some landing pages for them on a recurring basis, and I agreed. And I ended up working with that person and built multiple landing pages for her until I ran out of time, and I stopped working for them. So being both in a paid and free community helped me really find clients, grow my knowledge of the industry, and seek help and gain feedback. So these are some of the main benefits really of building your network. And I know the main question you have in your mind is, what communities can you join, or what communities have I joined in my career? Well, in terms of Facebook, there are a lot really. When it comes to virtual assistants, the only reliable Facebook community that I joined was the Virtual Sabi by Ivy Ashley. I joined other groups, but there isn't really any that I will consider valuable or even engaging enough. So the Virtual Sabi by Ivy Ashley is the one I was engaged in. I'm currently in the group, but I haven't really engaged in a long time. I am currently on LinkedIn. I am posting on LinkedIn, but because I'm not looking for clients, so the type of content and the type of activities that I do right now on LinkedIn are not going to be relevant. And I haven't really used LinkedIn previously. So the main sources that I use to build my own network is Facebook groups and paid communities. I have joined a few paid communities over the years, and I joined Facebook groups on different topics. So what you just need to do right now is just write down all the services that you are going to start offering or that you are offering to clients, and think of the Facebook groups that are relevant to those services, and just go ahead and join the Facebook groups and go ahead and update your LinkedIn profile, make it professional, so that when someone look at your profile at first glance, we are going to have the impression of professional. That is what you want. And if you want to learn more about the courses that I personally took over the years, you can watch this next video. But I haven't recorded the video yet. So if you are watching this video the day I publish it, you are probably going to see a random video, but as soon as I record the video, I'm going to replace it here. If you find the video helpful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.